Are you a victim of crazy price hikes like most of us here in the US? Have you noticed that home prices and even rent has skyrocketed here since COVID? Well, in this episode of The Five, we're gonna look at the 5 most affordable states here in America. Hi, my name is Jared, and no, this wasn't an infomercial. It's just another episode of The Five where we share 5 interesting things in Black culture and society in every episode. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell so you can get notified when we release new videos. Yes, the prices of everything from housing to gas are skyrocketing everywhere. But since everything is relative, we're gonna look at some states that are still affordable. Our selection is based on housing, utilities, healthcare, transportation, and other costs. Let's go down the list from number 5 to the most affordable state. Starting with number 5, Tennessee. Tennessee is known for its country music, vibrant church communities, savory barbecues, rolling hills, and of course, the whiskey. Tennessee has a higher housing cost on the list, with an average rent of $810 per month, which is still a lot cheaper than other states. The living wage in Tennessee is $50,152 per year, falling more than $10,000 below the median necessary living wage in America. A lot of things are very affordable in Tennessee, including food costs, transportation, and utilities. We absolutely have to mention the taxes in Tennessee are very low, with no state income tax. In comparison with other states, a doctor visit in Tennessee will cost you 60% less than it would in Madison, Wisconsin. The average monthly energy bill in Tennessee is $141.46. For example, a house will cost you on average a price of $395,467 in Johnson City, Tennessee. Cities such as Morristown, Johnson City, Cleveland, Sevierville, and Jackson are some of the cheapest places to live in Tennessee. Major cities like Nashville, however, are getting more expensive by the day due to competition from people relocating there from more expensive cities like Los Angeles and New York. Number 4, Missouri. The 4th least expensive state on our list is Missouri. The lowest real estate prices in the country can be found in Joplin, Missouri. A 4-bedroom home can cost just a little over $200,000. The grocery costs are also much more affordable here. There are quite a number of successful companies headquartered in the state. Last year, about 10 companies that called Missouri home made the Fortune 500 list. This mark is a compelling factor for more companies to invest in the state, meaning more employment opportunities. In comparison to other states, seeing a movie costs 30% less in Kansas City than it would in Hollywood, California. An average shirt would cost you 25% less here than it would in Boston. The average home price in Kansas City metro area is $299,164 in 2021. Missouri has an impressive range of attractions, parks, museums, and galleries, so you can trust that you will never get bored. Number 3, Oklahoma. This state is home to 3.9 million people. Depending on the city, housing costs can vary, but on average, Oklahoma has some of the cheapest house prices in the country, with the average home price at $124,800. Cities such as Tulsa, Fort Gibson in Muskogee County, and some parts of Oklahoma City have ridiculously cheap rent prices. In Fort Gibson, you can buy an attractive 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom detached family home complete with spacious back and front yards for $100,000. Whereas in other parts of the country, that same property could go for $500,000 or more. Your monthly energy bill in Norman, Oklahoma will be about half of what you would pay in New Haven, Connecticut. Ponca City, Oklahoma had the lowest apartment rents in the country in 2020. Costing just $502 for a 2-bedroom place. The state also has some of the lowest gas, utility, groceries, and transportation prices too. Oklahoma City is a great place to live with quaint landscapes, beautiful sunrise and sunsets, and local upscale restaurants. Number 2, Kansas. When you think of Kansas, you think of farmlands, but there's so much more excitement the state has to offer. Kansas has some lively and impressive cities such as Manhattan, Overland Park, Kansas City, Topeka, and others that make living affordable, comfortable, and exciting. The cost of housing in Kansas is ranked the 8th cheapest in the country, with an average housing rent of $821 per month. Groceries, transportation, and utilities cost less here too than the national average. You can buy a gallon of milk for just $1.99 compared to the average $3 mark in multiple other states. Servicing costs for necessities such as electrical installations, plumbing, painting, and others are also lower than average. Healthcare and healthcare insurance are affordable. 90.4% of the population in Kansas state currently has health insurance. Veterinarian costs are cheaper here too, costing half as much as New York City on average. Kansas is a beautiful state to live in general, making affordable living a great option. And coming in at number 1, the most affordable state in the US, Mississippi. Mississippi is the most affordable state to live in the United States. The average cost of living is 15% lower than the average cost of living compared to other states. An average of $48,500 a year can cover your living expenses here, well below the national average of over $60,000. An average home price in the city like Hattiesburg is $247,812. Childcare in Mississippi is also the cheapest in the country. It costs about $2,869 a year. Healthcare, food, utility bills are the most affordable in the country. Most of the cities such as Long Beach, Madison, or Oxford have a homely small community vibe to them. There's a robust cultural and art history scene that can easily occupy your weekends. If you have watched other state videos, then you are used to Mississippi making the list frequently. And unfortunately, it is usually on our bad list. Mississippi in general has one of the highest employment gaps between blacks and whites, and that is reflected in Jackson as well, with black unemployment over 2 times that of whites. The poverty rate for African Americans in Jackson is more than triple the rate for whites, while the rate for working poverty is more than 4 times as high. And the wage gap between blacks and whites actually rose from $6 an hour to $8 an hour since 2000. The largest income gap between blacks and whites is actually found in those who have college degrees. With all the perks of an affordable state, Mississippi also has its negative sides, like having the unhealthiest population and being home to some of the worst cities in America for African Americans. If you had to move, tell me in the comments which one of these 5 states you would most likely move to. I know I have my pick. That's it for this episode of The 5. We'll be back with another episode in Black culture and society.